What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the four-wheel drive garage. Today is a little bit different setting. The local emergency squad where I volunteer was kind enough to lend me the bay for the night so I could switch out the starter in the old Jeep. Of course, I go to start it about a day and a half ago and just get clicks, nothing, no turnover. So I tenderize the battery, still nothing. So by process of elimination, it's got to be the starter, I hope. I picked one up at Advance today, and I'm going to give you a little step-by-step as to how to go ahead and swap the starter. So go ahead, enjoy the video, and hopefully learn something. Okay guys, so step number one is going to be pop the hood open. Go ahead, disconnect your battery terminals. You're going to want to do the negative before you do the positive. Ideally, you should have like some kind of cap, rubber thing to go over these to really fully insulate them, but as long as you're not touching, you're gonna be good to go. But that's gonna be step one. All right, guys, here we are underneath the Jeep. It's gonna be a 16 millimeter right here on the bottom, and there's gonna be another one on top. You can see up here are the connections for the solenoid. I'm probably gonna access them once I take care of these two bolts. There's another one on the top side of the starter. It's a little tough to see, but you can get in there with an extension. So just go ahead, pop them off, and we'll take it from there. And for reference, we're just right near the oil pan right here. So it's gonna be right on the passenger side. All right, guys, so helpful little tip. You can see in there, that is the starter, and I can just sneak my socket wrench in, just for reference, right above the passenger frame rail and get access to that second bolt holding on the starter, again 16 millimeter. All right guys, so another important point to share with you is make sure you keep track of which cable is which. So the red one is going to be the one when you're looking at it like this, all the way on the left. I was able to get this one loose, but the red one I'm not able to get loose. You can pop a 1/2 inch on there. In this case, it's just spinning, and I think the stud is spinning, so it's important to always have a contingency plan, which in my case is gonna be a grinder. And we're gonna get the sucker out and get the new one in, and we should be good to go. All right guys, so I was able to get the old starter pulled, and I have it side by side with the new one. It's always a good idea to check and make sure that your parts look like they're gonna work before you throw them in the vehicle. So just to review what I said before, this part right here is where the red wire connected. I was having some issues with it. The stud was spinning, so I took a grinder to it, got it out, no problem. Over here was another electrical connection where someone previously went monkey on it. And so I'm gonna have to cut the wire in the Jeep and put a new adapter on there. It's a good idea to pick. I have a whole box of these little guys from Harbor Freight, you know, a couple bucks. So it's a good idea to have stuff like that. It can get you out of a pinch. So reconnect this one. That's gonna be the red wire. Throw a little dielectric grease and everything on there before you get all slapped together. I'll give you a view of it in the Jeep, and it should be pretty straightforward. All right guys, here we are, just to provide some clarity. This little doohickey is gonna go right on top of there like that. It's gonna slide over top and get crimped down. And then the shiny part is gonna slide onto the starter and also get crimped. And I'll throw a little solder on there, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And I'll show you again once it's actually all put together. All right guys, we're making good progress here. So this is that little connection I was telling you about. I was able to get it on to the old wire, crimped and soldered, so it should be pretty solid. And in the back there is that red positive connection. So this should be good to go. Again, make sure you don't have any garbage in your teeth. And you should be able to go and drop it down in there. I found it easier to do the wires up here where I'm like standing than working on your back. Whatever you find easiest will be good for you. So now we should be able to just bolt her up and get her rolling. All right, boys and girls, the new starter is all the way in there. I don't know if it was the off-brand starter that I got from Advance, but I had to go and throw some washers on this bolt up here just to get it to like really sandwich it against the motor, so that when the little tooth slides forward and engages on the flywheel, it actually grabs it the right way instead of just stripping it out. But you know, it should work fine. The only other thing is to give it a whirl. All right, guys, time for the moment of truth. Thanks for tuning in this week. If you liked anything or learned anything, please feel free to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.